So
Okay.
welcome everybody to this May webinar, Allied Tour and Travel's May webinar. Say that 10 times fast. My name is Ryan Mettinger. I am so excited to have you on here. We are recording this meeting, and we will be putting this out for folks to be able to view this later as well. We've got quite a few things to run through here today, and I am very excited. We've got a special guest, Judy O'Brien, who we've been working on a special Christmas tour with, who is going to be able to share with you as well. But as we typically do here on our webinars, is we want to talk about some last minute availabilities on upcoming Allied tours. I'm hoping you're able to see my screen here. We've got the Ark Encounter Express coming up July 15th through 19th. We've only got 8 seats left on that. You can go ahead and give us a call if that's something you're interested in. This is a little different than our typical Ark Encounter and Kentucky Pathways tour because it's a quick trip out and back. We leave on the 15th. We're back on the 19th. We hit up the Creation Museum, the Ark Encounter. We do a nice little riverboat cruise. We stop at Hardy's Reindeer Ranch on the way home. Always a favorite. There's 7 meals included on this tour, 4 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and a dinner. And we'll be heading out with Melinda Stelling. She's an excellent tour director. And we'll be departing from our typical departure cities, but we'll be adding Des Moines too. So if there's any Des Moines folks on this webinar here watching this, we can pick up in Des Moines as well. But this is just a quick trip out and back to the Ark. It'll be a lot of fun. You can enjoy some beautiful scenery along the way, but it will be leaving here soon. We've got a $50 pay by check savings still available per person if that's something you're interested in. The other tour that I want to highlight with last minute availabilities is the Oregon Coastal and Northern California tour. That one's coming up fast. It's a little bit longer of a tour. We leave July 22nd and we'll be returning on August 4th. And this is just such a great tour, a great itinerary. You see some pictures there from our folks that were on a previous Oregon Coastal and Northern California tour. They're having a good time there at some of the attractions, and you can barely see in that far picture on the right 2 folks up there checking out the sequoias. We'll go through the forest there so you can see these giant trees. Another thing to mention on this tour is we will be taking an ultra coach, which means you'll be it'll afford you some extra leg room. I know 6 inches doesn't seem like a lot when you're looking at a ruler, but when you're sitting in a seat, 6 inches can make a big difference, especially for you folks that have got the long legs. So we'll be heading out on the Ultra Coach, and we're very excited for this tour. Elaine DeYoung will be heading out on this. She knows this area like the back of her hand. She's been there a million times. She planned this tour, so we'll be doing the Jackson Hole Chuck Wagon dinner there. We'll be stopping at Crater Lake, Craters of the Moon National Monument. There'll be a fun giant dune buggy ride that will become one of the favorites for the people on this tour. We'll do a jet boat cruise. I mentioned already, you see the picture of the avenue of the giant redwoods. And then we'll stop down. We'll spend a little time doing a guided tour of San Francisco. You can check out an Alcatraz Island tour. Actually, go out to Alcatraz, which will be great. There's a winery tour in Sonoma Valley. There's an airfield museum we'll be checking out. And then on the way back, the Terry Bison Ranch, where many of our folks in the past have been able to actually feed the wild bison there. So this is a wonderful tour. We will be we do this about every other year. So if you don't hop on this one, this tour likely won't be available till 2026. So I wanted to highlight that. We've got a few seats available, but I believe the final payment needs to be made here within the next week or so. So it's a last minute availability. So what I wanted to touch on today is, I know we are a few months out yet, but we want to talk about some of our upcoming Christmas tours that are going to be available in November and December this year. It's time to start planning, and we've had people begin to book on these tours. We've got the Branson Christmas #1 and #2. The itineraries are a little bit different. Check it out online, www.alliedtt.com. But they're short little trips down to Branson. We take in a lot of shows. It really helps put you in the Christmas spirit. It was actually the very first Allied tour I ever took was a Branson tour, and it was wonderful. Really puts you in a great festive mood. We've got an Amish holiday in Indiana where you get to go head out east from Nebraska anyway, and we go spend some time out there in Amish country in Indiana. The Danube Christmas Markets River Cruise is in November, and Judy's going to be helping us with that here shortly. And then in December, we've got a Nashville Christmas. This has been one of the favorites that we've done year after year. We'll stay at the we'll stay at the Opryland Hotel there in Nashville. We'll spend some time at the Grand Ole Opry. There's some wonderful sights, but it's a wonderful time. I don't even know the number of lights out there at the Opryland Hotel, but it takes a long time for them to get that place all decorated. We're doing a Branson and Kansas City Christmas, where we're leaving from up north, Sioux Falls, Laverne area, stopping in Sioux City for pickups. We'll also do pickups in Omaha, and then head down to Kansas City for night one. And there's some Christmas lights down there, and we'll head down to Branson. And it's something that we're doing a little bit different this year with that stop in Kansas City. We have a mystery tour for all of you mystery tour lovers, holiday mystery tour that we are so excited for. As a matter of fact, if you call into the office and ask where the tour is going, nobody there knows. So don't try to spoil it. Don't try to spoil the fun. This holiday mystery tour is exciting, and we just had a spring mystery tour. People had a blast. And then we've got a third Branson Christmas tour, which the itinerary will be a little bit different. And then Colorado Christmas, where we'll head out west to Colorado. And I tell you what, this tour last year, I had rave reviews. We stop, and there's I think one of my favorite things about this tour is a madrigal event in the Glen Eyrie Castle out there in Colorado. And just a beautiful landscape. Up in the mountains. That's a great Christmas tour coming up. But I know that Judy is full of information for this Danube River Christmas Markets Cruise tour, and so the featured tour is going to be with Judy here. I want to mention once again, tours will pop up on our website before you'll see them in a catalog or in an email blast. So make sure that you go to our website, www.alliedtt.com, to get information on the latest and the newest tours. And of course, you can always give us a call at 1-800-672-1009. Give us a call if you have any questions. If you want to book on one of these tours, you can give us a call. We can get you reserved. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Judy, you should be able to go on and hit the share screen button on your end.
Hopefully that's the right presentation. I think it'll work either way. I was updating it a little bit, but thank you, Ryan. I'm so excited. You guys have some wonderful trips. I love that Oregon Coast tour that you have and all those wonderful Christmas trips you have. But this is also just a really special Christmas trip, you guys. My name's Judy O'Brien, and we've been partnering with Allied Tour and Travel for so many years. I work for a company called Mayflower Cruises and Tours, and we're owned by the Scenic Group. So we have all these wonderful river cruise ships, and this one is really a special trip because we're going to be visiting the Christmas markets all along the Danube River this November 30th. Now, you're going to be getting round trip local transfers from the allied cities, like I think you're normally accustomed to when they pick you up and take you to the Omaha airport. I want to let you know that we have a guaranteed share program on this trip. So if you are a single traveler and you are wanting to go on this tour, but you can't find a roommate, we would be more than happy to help you find a same gender non-smoking roommate so that you can go on this trip at the twin rate. So if you have any questions about that, we'll be happy to answer them later. And I always like to point out, this is going to be an amazing vacation, and that can become thirsty work, right? Just remember, on this journey, we are going to give you complimentary teas, and coffee are available at all times throughout your cruise. But to accompany your lunches and dinners, they've carefully chosen in special selections of the European red and white wines, local beers, and soft drinks are for you to enjoy with your lunches and dinners. There's going to be wonderful, unique dining experiences throughout this cruise with delicious desserts like this apple strudel. A couple pictures I've taken throughout some of my river cruises. We'll go into the dining a little bit here in a minute. Professional Emerald Cruise and activities directors are on board. You're in really good hands. The personal listening devices, or audio whispers as they call them, when we're out touring. It's really important that you're able to hear the local guide as we're walking around in Budapest or Bratislava. And it's nice, they give you these little devices. You just charge them right in your cabin, and then you're good to go the next day. You can hear for many, many feet away from the guide. I just want to remind everybody that this is an international trip, and you do need to have a valid passport that will be good for 6 months upon returning. So we're going in December. Want to make sure that that's good for, through the end of June, I would say, of 2025, just to be safe. Now we're going to be sailing on Emerald Waterways, beautiful 4-star newer ships. They're all identical ships. It's a Star Series. I believe that you guys are on our latest brand new ship, the Emerald Luna. We've got a pool on board, all English speaking staff. We're giving you $3.99 airfare when you sign up by the end of May. I'm hoping that that's going to be extended through June. I'm going to ask about that to get that extended for you if possible. You'll have your transfers included in the destination. All the gratuities are included. Yes. Complimentary beverages. You get your breakfast, lunches, which are buffets. Multi-course dinners are included. And then if you're following along, or you can ask Ryan to send you the flyer on this. You may notice something on your itinerary under the bottom of one of the days that says Emerald Plus. This is something that we're just throwing in as an extra perk. It doesn't cost any more money. It's something that'll help you gain a deeper understanding of the destinations we're visiting and give you a little bit more an authentic excursion, which helps avoid the tourist hotspots. So how about a home-hosted coffee and cake with Slovakians? Maybe we're going to do a walking tour of Regensburg with the Bavarian sausage tasting, something like that. Now, if you want to immerse a little further into local history, we'll offer what we call Discover Moors. These are optional tours, and they're at an additional cost. It could possibly be an excursion to Nuremberg. Maybe when you're in Budapest in the afternoon, you want to do that excursion to Zendendre. So we do offer a few optional tours as well. Now, we do love our allied friends, and we have our Mayflower loyalty rewards. So when you take this river cruise with us, you're going to earn $150 in loyalty rewards to use on a 2025 trip with Allied Tour and Travel in conjunction with Mayflower. So that's kind of nice. Brings you back year after year. So let's start rolling this along, you guys. I love river cruising. I'm actually getting ready to go to France tomorrow on a river cruise. And the reason why we love them so much is because you are going to be visiting 4 countries on one vacation, and you only have to unpack once on this. I want to show you a quick little video, and let's see if we can give you a little taste of Christmas. Okay, you guys, I just wanted to show you a little quick snippet of that video before it takes up too much time, just to get you guys in the mood to go out to these Christmas markets. So this is going to be a really fabulous trip, you guys. We're going to be flying into Budapest, Hungary. You're going to be met right at the airport. You'll be transferred right to your beautiful ship, the Emerald Luna, and they're going to be docked right outside along the Danube River. Let's take a look at the ship and let you get accustomed to what a river cruise ship is like. Now, our river cruise ships are beautiful. It's like a floating boutique hotel. They only hold 176 travelers. We've got several travelers booked with Allied Tours already, and we'd love for you to join us. Now, follow along as I show you some pictures of the ship. Our Emerald staterooms are the more economically priced cabins, and they're in categories D and E, and they're about 160 square feet with a fixed window. You could put the beds together or separated up to your choice. Most of the people really enjoy the panorama balcony suites, and Emerald Waterways has been the first company to design the open air system. You just walk across your cabin, you push a little button on the window over there, and the button can come down. Now, this is in December, so you probably won't be opening your window to be sitting out on a balcony, but you still have that beautiful floor to ceiling and that window going all across your cabin so you can see outside very easily. Again, the beds can be separated or kept together as one, and it's about 180 square feet. These you can find on the Vista deck in categories C and B, or on the Horizon deck in categories A. Whoops, did I miss a cabin here? Okay, I don't know what happened to my other cabin there. We have grand balcony suites and owner suites. All English speaking crew is on board for you guys, and they really love to just make you feel special. They're going to be helping you keep your room tidy and turning your bed downs at night and getting you cocktails when you're out in the lounge, and just it's waiting on you, making you feel just wonderful. All English speaking. Now, the Reflections restaurant, you're going to be coming here for meals for breakfast, lunches, and dinners. And your breakfast and lunches are buffets, and then your dinners are 4-course plated dinners. You can sit at any table you like. If you like a certain waiter that you found that you like later on, you could just sit in their section if you like, or maybe you met some other families along the way and you want to enjoy and sit with them. You can sit anywhere you like. There's that wonderful wine that you get served with dinner. The desserts are just delicious and scrumptious, and you get them every day. There's another area called the Terrace. This is upstairs in the lounge area, and they'll put out a little spread out there at lunchtime. So if you're out touring and you want to just grab a quick lunch, or maybe you want something a little bit more intimate of dining without such a big buffet, you could go up into the lounge area up in the back where it's called the terrace. There's a small seating area up there and they put some food out there for you as well. It's just kind of set up just like this. This was like a breakfast that we had one morning when we were leaving real early to go to the airport. The lounge is very large. This is for your common areas. We are going to be meeting every evening at 6:45 p.m. to learn about what we're doing the next day. What time do we have to be up in the morning? And then in the evenings after dinner, it's all about trivia and live music and dancing. So enjoy the lounge area. Plenty of room for people to kick back and relax. It's also a nice area to sit in when we are sailing. Because again, it's going to be in December. You're not going to want to be up on the sun deck. Could be too chilly for you up there. So you can sit in the lounge. There's floor to ceiling windows on each side of the lounge that you can see when we're sailing along the river. Enjoy a beverage at the bar. There's our 24-hour coffee maker. You can get espresso, cappuccino, lattes, coffee, hot chocolate, and look at the cookies. They're right there for you, ready to go. Now, if you're a tea drinker, don't worry. There's a wonderful assortment of teas just on the other side of the lounge that you can get at 24 hours a day as well. One thing that makes Emerald stand out is our wonderful pool on board. We have a beautiful indoor pool. Again, there's windows all around the pool, so you can actually sit back there and relax in one of the chairs, read, or I always end up falling asleep if I go back there and read. But you can also swim. There's a little spot to make coffees and stuff. But look at this. It turns into a movie theater at night. Now, you do need to make reservations for that. But if it's something you're interested in doing, they'll even make popcorn for you. And you can make a reservation and say you want to go watch a movie in the theater one evening. Pretty neat. The pool comes up, they cover the pool, and now they turn it into a movie theater. There's a small little fitness center on board, and we do have a wellness area. So if you'd like to book that massage, it is an extra expense. And the wellness instructor also will lead some nice stretching of lower yoga each morning. Sun deck on board. We'll even have the Captain Farewell dinner, personal listening devices. Okay, here we go, guys. We're going to get into Budapest. So you wake up, you get into Budapest. You just get dropped off, and after boarding, there'll be free time. So you can either go out right to that Christmas market, sit on the ship and start enjoying the amenities of the ship, or go out and enjoy Budapest. That evening after dinner, we are going to be having a wonderful Hungarian folklore show come right on board and give you a really wonderful experience on board. Our next morning after breakfast, when we get up, you guys are going to get a good night's sleep, and now we're going to start our touring. Okay, we're going to be doing our Budapest touring today. This is the Eastern Europe's liveliest and most cosmopolitan city. We'll enjoy a guided panoramic tour of the city sites, including the Hungarian Parliament building, the Buda Castle, the Chain Bridge. This is a really cool, the Chain Bridge that they call it. Wait till you see this lit up at night. This is just going to be so beautiful. But we're going to see the Buda and the Pest side of the city. And then, of course, after our city tour, we'll have some free time to explore the Christmas markets. Now, I know this is kind of showing it at nighttime, but it will be during the day. And then, of course, later on at evening and when we're docked, you can also explore the markets. But today we also have a Discover More. So after our city tour, you can decide to sign up for what we call an excursion to a little town called Szentendre. It's about 30 miles or a half an hour from Budapest. Really cute little place. It's old city center, different types of architecture, and all kinds of different galleries and museums and shops that you can go and see if you'd like to join them. There's also another Discover More for the Jewish Heritage Tour. I believe we might be offering that as well. Budapest at night is magnificent, and I'll show you a couple pictures right here. Everything is lit up, the bridges, the parliament, the churches. It's really beautiful. Go up on that top deck, bundle up, get some beautiful pictures. It's really quite fabulous to see. There's our parliament all lit up. And then we set sail later on in that evening, and we're going to get into Bratislava, Slovakia now. I loved Bratislava. This is right on the water, you get right off the ship and walk right into Bratislava. We're going to be getting a little walking tour, including the enchanting old city with the town hall and Slavic National Theater. It's also home to the charming Christmas markets, of course. I love Bratislava. It's not that large of a city. Do you see the castle in the background up on the hill? The Christmas markets, look at how many vendors are in there. And that's right in the little city center. Very easy to walk right off the ship and get in and go do your shopping. I bought several of these. I've done the Danube Christmas markets a few years ago, and I bought these beautiful glass ornaments, just lovely. Now, we're also going to have a Emerald Plus today. This is that home-hosted coffee and cake with Slovakians. If you'd like to join them to do that, you can certainly meet some Bratislavian families and Slovakian families and be hosted by them for that afternoon. And some of you might want to take a Discover More. It's the Carpathian wine route. They're going to drive you around into some of the small little towns where you'll be able to sample some local wines in a historic wine cellar. Every day you guys get your beautiful breakfast, lunches, and dinners and entertainment and things like that on board, but I'm going to try to fly through this presentation for you. We're going to get into Vienna, Austria next. Now, this is a much larger city, and I really loved Vienna. It's comprised of grand boulevards, ornate palaces, amazing architecture, and it's got a lot of storied history. It's also famous for its art exhibits and museums, and we're going to have an included tour of this amazing museum. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. That's a hard one for me, but it's a beautiful museum, and it's got the largest art museum in the country. Let me tell you, when you walk into these museums and palaces, look at the grandeur of the staircase and the marble. I mean, you really feel like you not only just step back in time, but you just feel like you're part of it, you know. Look at the size of the artwork on the walls. It's really just something fabulous to experience. And then later we'll enjoy some free time at the Vienna Christmas markets. It's also like right across in the city center from St. Stephen's Cathedral. All the little gingerbread cookies. Yummy, and all the different wonderful Christmas ornaments. You guys are just going to absolutely love it. Now, tonight there is a Discover More. I highly recommend you do this. It's an exclusive Vienna concert, learning all about Mozart and Strauss. It's about a 3-hour excursion, and you are going to be experiencing this at a beautiful Vienna Palace theater in Vienna. I don't know how to even explain the grandeur of the feeling of going into these places. Now we're going to continue sailing, and we're going to go into the Gatwick Abbey, and we're going to, this is a Benedictine monastery. It's perched high atop a vineyard and forest covered hill. Offers beautiful views of the Vaco Valley, and inside the Abbey will, of course, admire some of the architectural highlights, as well as the antique decorations and furnishings. There's about 150,000 manuscripts in here as well, religious carvings and engravings and valuable collections of coins, antiquities, musical manuscripts, everything that you can imagine that would be in here. Oops. There's our books. I love going into these abbeys and walking around and just seeing all of the artwork, hundreds and hundreds of years old. It's also part of the Vaco UNESCO World Heritage Landscape. It's also known for its apricot jams in the area, and you can also buy some items here as well. And there they are, probably like apricot wines and different types of delicacies. I guess my slides are just going to keep going in order. I don't know what's going on with that, but that's okay. All right, so we are going to continue sailing through the Vaco Valley, and I want you to pay attention because you can see how mountainous it's coming now, and you can see like different castles up on top of the hill here. Look at this. We're going to sail the Vaco Valley, and this is Dernstein. We're going to go past that castle in the background is where King Richard the Lionheart was held captive in 1173. It's known as the Dernstein Castle or the Cohen-Ringenberg Castle. Pretty neat. A lot of history in this area. Whoops. We get into Passau, Germany, and this is a lovely little town. You can see all the different shops here. We're going to be walking around in Passau. There's going to be another little a Kindle market here. A lot of different narrow alleyways. The St. Stephen's Cathedral is right in front of it in this area is where the Kindle market will be. And this is known for the second largest pipe organ in the world. So you go into the cathedral, light a candle, sit in there and look at the beautiful murals of the ceiling and the architecture. Hopefully you'll be able to hear some sounds of the organ if they're practicing that day. And then you just walk out and go walk around and shop and do your little Christmas market shopping. And then we sail from Passau, Germany, and we get into Regensburg, Germany, one of my favorite cities and one of the oldest bridges on the Danube that still is mostly intact from the wars. It's kind of hard to see in this picture, but there's a big white building next to the bridge, and there's a tiny little building in front of that. That is the smallest restaurant, and it is still operating, and it makes all those wonderful sausages. And I'm wondering if we're going to stop there because we have a sausage tasting today. But we're going to be walking into Regensburg. We're going to guided tour, again, UNESCO World Heritage City, you guys. We're going to see the oldest bridge crossing into the Danube, the architectural highlights, including the Old Town Hall. We'll visit the Christmas market. Honestly, Regensburg is a fabulous city, and it is not going to disappoint at all. And you guys will have time to walk around into the markets, which is what we are all wanting to do on our little Christmas market trip. Later on, we're going to have a traditional Bavarian band come on board. So we'll learn all about what it's like to be in Germany with the Bavarian bands. And then there'll also be an opportunity if you decide that you want to take an excursion to Nuremberg. This is a picture. Nuremberg is the largest Christmas markets. You can see its huge cathedral in the background here. It is about an hour and a half drive each way. I do need to point that out. I think they give you about an hour there. So it's really up to you. If that's on your bucket list and you want to do it, go for it. Otherwise, you can just stay in Regensburg and walk around and enjoy. This kind of gives you a layout of the ship and pricing details. Add $3.99 for the airfare. Don't worry, we extended that through May 31st, which I think we're going to extend that actually through June 30th. So we'll give you guys a little bit longer on that. Ryan's giving you guys an extra savings when you pay by check as well. That also helps out with your round trip transfers. So take a look, you guys. That's not a bad pricing when you look at everything that's included with all of your meals, beer, wine, and soft drinks with lunches and dinners, $3.99 airfare. It's a really nice deal. How did I do? Woo, that was fast.
You covered a lot of ground there,
Thanks.
Judy. I appreciate it, and those photos are amazing. You know, there are a lot of people that have done the river cruises and maybe have cruised down the Danube before, but it's a different experience during Christmas time.
Very. It really is. I've done the Danube myself in 2012, and I went back in 2000, I want to say 17 for the Christmas markets. It's such a magical feeling to be there early on in December, late November, and you get back in time. You're set. You're in the spirit for Christmas. You've got some wonderful souvenirs for family and friends at a fraction of the cost of what you would pay at any of the Christmas markets in your own areas. And it's just wonderful to learn about the European traditions and how they celebrate Christmas too.
Very good. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Let's see. We'll do this. I know that we've gone past 11 o'clock, which is fine. If anybody on the call has any questions, you can go ahead and ask those in the chat or in the Q&A. We will have this recording available to all of our travelers here. Probably by the end of today or tomorrow, we'll have the recording up for people to see. And then once again, if you have any questions, just reach out. You can find us at 1-800-672-1009, or you can see some of the highlights on www.alliedtt.com. So thank you very much for your time. This will conclude the webinar, and we'll have another webinar next month as well. So if you have any questions, we'll stick around. But other than that, there's a lot of this world to see and experience. We don't want you to miss out. Go on tour. We make it easy. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.